It's kind of interesting to be giving this presentation. We crafted it with the idea that maybe other language organizations would be interested in how we work, how we do it. But we're all Japanese teachers, so we put this as maybe a background. But really, we want to talk about our Benkyokai. That's mostly the target of our conversation this morning. So next slide, please. So yes, this is our agenda. We're going to talk about, I'll talk about the background of WATJ. We're really going to talk about Benkyokai, and mostly we're going to focus on why we would do something that seems so labor intensive and how we keep it sustainable. And then we'll have time for Q&A. So we have a very interesting model of collaboration. We're going to be talking about that. And the idea is to make it sustainable, to make the, the only reason we can do Benkyokai, it's been a work in progress over several years. They used to be less frequently, but they're getting more frequent now with Zoom. But the idea is making it sustainable. And then, of course, Zoom allows us to do so much more than we were able to do before. So any questions, invite you to please type them in the chat. And we'll go ahead and get started. So we just did introductions. We're all on the board of WATJ. So, ご協力お願いします。And when we're talking about the background of WATJ, it's important to remember that in the late 80s, there was this boom of support from Japan to, like there is now for China, from the government for teaching Japanese. And locally, Leslie Birkeland thought it would be a great idea if we all met together on a Saturday of a sort and shared lesson plans. So we came with these great big stacks of paper, and this was before the days of the internet. So we all shared our lesson plans by paper and I shared ideas with each other. At the time, she realized that we would have access to national resources if we were able to form a group that could be linked up with other state groups in the US. We went through some name changes, then we joined with AATJ, which includes colleges. So at the time, we were just secondary schools. I think NCJLT was mostly secondary teachers. Registered nonprofit, and right now we have 89 members, which is one of the largest Japanese teachers groups in the US. Tanabe sensei, ohayou gozaimasu.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
So when we met, dozo, partnerships, Alicia sensei, yoroshiku.
Hi, arigatou, Kim sensei. So next, I'd like to briefly talk about the different organizations we are lucky enough to partner with each year. So first, there are 2 Japanese government offices we work with: the Consulate General of Japan in Seattle and the Hyogo Business and Cultural Center, which is the office of Washington's sister state in Japan. We also collaborate with the Washington and Oregon Japan America Society to host cultural experiences for students. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what those experiences are. And as an affiliate of AATJ, we frequently work with our neighboring affiliates in Oregon, and Sakurachi Sensei, who is the president of Oregon's affiliate, is here with us today. And also, we like to invite members of other affiliates to our events, which is why Carla Sensei, we've met you before as well at this year's conference. So, but of course, last but not least, we have a representative from WATJ participate on the WAFOLT board, and we also attend and present at WAFOLT conferences. So what does WATJ do? With the help of all of these partner organizations, we're able to host and promote opportunities to our members and their students. So here are a few examples of the types of things that we do with them. So first, we host several workshops, an annual conference, and a summer institute. And that's where we invite presenters and keynote speakers to promote networking and Japanese-specific professional development. In between these workshops and conferences, we host virtual Benkyokai or study groups, and we're going to talk more in depth about that today. Some examples of student-centered events are our one-day Japanese immersion camps and Japanese language festivals with the Japan America Society of Washington. Actually, the Japanese language festival is going on today. I don't know, did it start already? I can't remember. Oh, not yet. But yeah, it is actually happening today. So we kind of had a schedule conflict there.
And others as language educators, I can describe steps to simplify and coach.
There we go. I got it. So the Japanese Speech and Skit Contest with Hyogo BCC is also another event that we do. And they're presenting the winners today at the Japanese Language Festival. And we also like to participate in the Japan Bowl. This one's a little bit more recent with the Japan America Society of Oregon. So, and then last but not least, again, here's a pre-COVID pic of WATJ members together at the last in-person Waffle Conference. And this one was in Spokane. We had a lot of fun. So can't wait to be in person again. Passing it on.
Okay, so you may ask why we do all this, and it's not, you know, it seems like a lot, but it's not quite as much as it might seem. So one reason is it gives us the opportunity to network with teachers from across the region. And this has been especially true this year with Oregon and with Idaho and with California and Alaska. And we're just so excited to be able to work with some teachers from other states. Also to offer some social support during difficult times, such as during the current pandemic and times during the year when there might be a little bit higher burnout. We love to offer more student opportunities, such as the speech and skit contest and the immersion camps and things like that. We also, of course, are all the time trying to create more professional development opportunities that are Japanese specific and very helpful for our members. So, so the Benkyokai, our study groups, started about 5 years ago. And it originally started where we would meet in a coffee shop somewhere in Seattle, and everyone would come together. And there'd usually be a topic that we would select ahead of time. And then a few years ago, we shifted to Zoom meetings in order to reach more members. And we found this as a very good model to use in order to give other people outside of Seattle the opportunity to meet. And it creates the opportunity to give each other support from all over. So it's worked quite well for us. Okay, we could go next slide. Okay, so the basic format of the Benkyokai study group series is they're 90-minute Zoom sessions. So we start with the first hour is on a topic, and there's a short presentation at the beginning that sets up the topic for the day. And then we go into breakout rooms for discussion, come back to share out to the whole group. And then after that, we have a 30-minute networking time that is more unstructured, more time to collaborate in a more casual way and help each other out in whatever ways we need to that day. So yeah, that's our basic format for our Benkyokai.
Thanks, Gwen Sensei. Also, just responding to a couple messages in the chat. Oh, thanks, Alicia Sensei. Yes, we actually started using Zoom, and it was Gwen Sensei who first taught us about, hey, there's this platform. So we were kind of piloting it, and then it really took off during when we all shifted to remote learning a year ago. So we have a couple resources. Alicia Sensei is going to drop these in the chat, and I've also uploaded them so they're available through the PNCFL conference program and their shared Google Drive. But we use this PowerPoint template, or it's a Google Slides template, and we use this at our Benkyokai sessions to provide some continuity and consistency. Alicia Sensei at our latest Benkyokai on Thursday also made Google Slides that she shared with all the participants. And when we were in breakout rooms, we took our notes directly in those slides. So it was really easy for us to access the notes later and keep track of what everybody said in the different breakout rooms. So we have, this template is available for you to copy and use if you would like. We originally used this at the WAFLT fall conference. It was an idea share. So we left our 3 topics of discussion. And this just helps us keep ourselves on track and then help our group, our participants keep their discussions going as well. And even though our Benkyokai are fairly intimate in attendance, we usually have between like 9 to 20 members, we almost always start with introductions and an icebreaker question. And we find that this is really a fun time for us to deepen our connections with each other, get to know each other as people, as well as being able to talk about teaching pedagogy related topics. So some of our icebreakers that we've done are, what are you looking forward to break? What did you do over break that was fun? What is a highlight from the school year? Alicia Sensei's from Thursday was, if we weren't in a pandemic right now, where might you want to travel? And one that I liked was, what is your favorite local restaurant for takeout? Very relevant to our current lives. So this next slide is a screenshot of a shared Google Sheets that we use as the WATJ board to help facilitate our planning purposes. So a big part of our discussions as a board is, how do we continue to make Benkyokai and all these events we do sustainable? How do we not burn ourselves out? And one method of keeping sustainability for our Benkyokai is to have a rotating facilitator. And so the board members, we go through in order, and different board members take turns planning, preparing for, and then leading the Benkyokai session. And so in this sheet, we just have what number Benkyokai it is, the date. We used to alternate Thursdays and Saturdays, but lately we've been focusing on doing Benkyokai on Thursdays. We have the host board member and then the topic. And just like lesson planning, this helps us see what we've already done and then what's coming up. So looking forward for the rest of the spring, we'll be transitioning to talking about how to transition back to in-person learning, reflecting on this year, what can we take forward, what have we learned from remote learning? And then when we come back in August, we're looking forward to focusing on how do we rebuild relationships with students that we may have never seen if they never turn their cameras on in class and things like that. You will notice here, there's a couple bolded dates. These are our fall and spring workshops. And so for sustainability, we chose not to run a Benkyokai in those months. And then our workshops are always on Saturdays. So we've chosen to stick with Benkyokai on Thursday evenings. So how do we communicate with our members and talk about or promote these Benkyokai events? So just like with our students, the more times we can remind people, the better. Everyone gets really busy. Thursday evenings, it's easy for this to fall off our radars if you are hungry and then tired, things like that. So we post announcements and updates about our Benkyokai on our website. We use a free Google website. We also have a For Members Facebook group that we post announcements to as well. And the most effective method of communicating with our members is actually through our shared WATJ emails. And so we have a shared account, and Kim Sensei has really helped out with sustainability by stepping up and volunteering to send the reminders about Benkyokai. And they come out about a week before the event and then a couple days before, just so people keep it fresh in their minds. We found that most of our members don't actually look at our website or at our Facebook group. And several years ago, we did a survey of our members asking how they prefer to receive communications. And our members said they preferred getting individual emails about different events rather than one like large newsletter of upcoming events. And so I'll send out dozens of emails just with reminders. And so we've found that that's very effective for reminding our members and making sure that people can come, and that keeps our conversations and our discussions really fresh and lively. Thanks for answering the questions in the chat. For the recording, the question was how long are our Saturday workshops, and then how long are Thursday Benkyokai? Our workshops are 2 hours, and our Benkyokai are 1 hour of Benkyokai and then a 30-minute social networking free talk time. Yeah. All right. So our reflections, as we look back over 1 year of virtual Benkyokai and 5 years of doing Benkyokai all together, we took some time as we were preparing this presentation to really think about, like, what do we really get out of doing this? Like, why do we keep doing this? Is it really worth it? And we've decided it absolutely is. As Gwen Sensei mentioned, it feels a lot like time with our friends. Yes, we're talking about teaching and how do we teach writing virtually and how do we engage students and all these thorny questions, but it also really feels a lot like we're getting supported from people who really care about us. It helps us overcome feelings of isolation or discouragement. Japanese teachers know we're often the only Japanese teachers in our building, and so it's very easy to start feeling isolated. So being able to connect with other Japanese teachers specifically has been really, really good for our social emotional health. And then we've really appreciated these opportunities to build deeper connections with both our in-state and our out-of-state partners. We've started reaching out to California as well. And so California teachers participated for the first time on Thursday. So it's been great to really build up the community of Japanese teachers, not just in Washington, but all across the West Coast. We're also always looking for ways that we can continue to grow and improve. And so a couple topics that we often bring up is how do we accommodate schedules, the scheduling needs of our members, right? Teachers with small children find Thursday evenings kind of difficult to do, whereas a lot of our teachers teach at Saturday schools. And so our usual Saturday workshops are inaccessible. So we're always looking for ways to find balance for our members. And then we frequently ask our members and the participants in Benkyokai, what are relevant topics to you? What do you want to see at a future Benkyokai? So that we make sure that the work we're doing is meaningful to everyone involved. So what do we hope you'll do with this information? We hope everyone here with us this morning and anyone who watches our recording later will take this as an opportunity to start your own Benkyokai or study groups within your own organizations. Some specific tips we have are to start small. You can always build bigger from initial success, but this has been like a 5-year process for us. So you definitely don't want to bite off more than you feel you can handle at the beginning. To help you start small, we suggest find colleagues that you enjoy collaborating with. Maybe reach out directly to a small group of colleague friends, and then use that to build momentum to reach out to a wider and wider network. Definitely focus on keeping your Benkyokai sustainable, fun, and meaningful, not just to the participants, but also to for you as the organizer, right? You have to feel like you're getting something out of it so that you can stay motivated and enthused and excited. Be honest with yourself, regroup and restructure things as needed. This is an ever evolving process. So we've done this in WATJ by adjusting how frequently we meet. We recently added the 30 minutes at the end of the Benkyokai for more social networking time because our members were really wanting those connections. And so this is definitely a fluid process that you can continue to refine to meet your needs and the needs of your local teachers. And then I saw this was in the chat. I want to join WATJ and we would love to have you. If you're not already a member of an AATJ affiliate, you can register you can pick any regional affiliate. You could choose WATJ or ATJO for Oregon or Alaska through AATJ's website. And WATJ also has a $15 dual membership option. This is fairly new for us. So anyone who is already a member of their own state's regional affiliation, please reach out to us and you can be added to our email list and have access to all our workshops and Benkyokai as well.
Can I ask one quick question?
Yeah.
So if when I went into the AATJ, I picked Alaska as my membership, joint membership. So am I joining you guys through AATJ or I can just go to you?
Yes, if you've already registered like officially through AATJ with Alaska, just send us an email and we're going to pop our email address. It's in the chat, it's in our presentation. Just reach out to us and we can get you dual membership enrolled directly into WATJ. Yeah, we're excited. We'd love to have you.
And then just send you a check or do I pay online?
We do check or PayPal.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. And Alicia Sensei is our treasurer, so we can help you out with that as well. All right, Alicia Sensei.
All right, so we have some time for discussion and Q&A. So we're opening up the floor to any questions you'd like to ask. Any more questions you'd like to ask?
I'd like to hear a little bit about Japan Bowl for those of you who have done it.
I haven't. So I know that Kei Sensei, you've attended, and I think our Oregon teachers can maybe speak to that a little bit too.
Yeah, we've had just a handful of Washington teachers who've participated, and then this year everyone's participating in the National Japan Bowl, which is coming up. But maybe Sakurauchi Sensei or Daiber Sensei, I know Oregon teachers have been participating for longer.
Yes, this is Tanabe, and we had a wonderful Benkyokai last night to prepare the students for the national. It was really fun, our first one, and we'll have 2 more the next consecutive Fridays. Sakuruchi Sensei is in charge of the next one. Hey.
So this Benkyokai was started by Jazo in Portland to cover the Oregon, Washington, and California and Idaho. But we figured out that the other states or they didn't plan the Benkyokai for the national digital Japan Bowl. So we decided to expand the invitation to the nationwide. So now it turned out that all the participants, the high school students participant come from all over the country, across the country, from the East Coast as well. So the Oregon is offering level 3, and level 2 are level 2 students are observing the level 3s, and the California is offering the Benkyo Guide for level 4. So here and we in Oregon, and we with Tanabe Sensei and the other teachers organizing and planning the Benkyo Guide, including the mock quiz from the previous questions from Japan Bowl. And we also cover like words and cultures and all topics from the study guide that the Washington DC offers. Offers. And so as Tanabe Sensei said, we're doing the Benkyo Guide 3 times every on Friday in March, and the last Friday will be a culture day, and it combined with California, and there are some cultural performers come and do the showcase for the participants. And this last one is open to public, and it will be it will show on the YouTube as well. So like for example, college students also can join and watch the performance. So there are lots of events for Japan Bowl and Benkyo Guide.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, Kim Sensei.
Hi, sumimasen. Sakuruchi Sensei, could you talk a little bit about the structure of the Japan Bowl day? I found it very interesting when we went down to observe how the morning is a written kind of weeding out, and then how the afternoon works. It's very interesting.
You mean the primary round and the championship?
Yes.
Yeah, so there are different structures for the Japan Bowl. And the first, like in the morning, we'll do the preliminary round. So that, by the way, the high school students, the participants form the groups of 3 students for each group. So there's 3 students as a team applied to the Japan Bowl. And the preliminary round, the Digital Japan Bowl, they will compete in each breakout room, like each. I think this is what the national plans, and then there are 40 questions. I can't remember exactly how many. 40 questions about Japanese language and culture from different genre, like listening or grammar or history or geography or pop culture, all different. There are different genres and then they answer for each question by filling out the Google form. There is an answer sheet, and then the top 3 teams are going to the championship. And in the championship, it's more open to all the audience, and then do another round, and it's more open, and they do like, how do you say, hayaoshi? I don't know how to say in English. So it's more like hit the buzzer, and you have to answer quickly. And then so different format. And then for this Digital Japan Bowl, there is another session called communication session. This is not for evaluation, but it's more like practicing communication, like speaking. So the participants are assigned to be in with a pair, but the pair is from another high school, so they don't know each other. And then they are the topic is provided and they have to, so the one person has to ask the question and the other answer, and then they have to keep the conversation for a couple of minutes. Yeah, so that's why at the Benkyokai, we are gonna practice that as well. So with the breakout room, and then yeah, practice doing that conversation session. But that part is not evaluated, so not too much pressure for the students. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. Any other questions?
That was
Or-
very detailed. I didn't know about that last part.
Yeah, it's a new
conversation.
try. Yeah, new
Mhm.
version.
すごい.
Yeah, anything that Susan Sensei wants to add?
Well, this
Very
is of
good.
course new to all of us
All of us, yeah.
this year. Yeah, being
Figuring
being
out.
all online. I'm having trouble getting my one platform turned off. There we go. Yeah, so it's very exciting to think of national, and I'm excited to
Mhm.
attend national because of course I haven't done that before. There we go.
But of course, once the pandemic is over, then we'll restart doing the regional Japan Bowl. And the number of participants are increasing every year since 2017. We are doing that every year, and we're expanding the invitation. So from the Washington, and there was a participant from Idaho, and then yeah, so we are expecting to get more participants from all over the states in this region. And I see lots of repeaters too when they start participating in the level 2, and then the next year they're coming back for the level 3 and 4. So it's good to see the returning participants also. Yay.
Very nice. ありがとうございました. That was
Yeah.
very detailed. It was a good refresher for me too, because I've
Yeah.
never participated, but I've always been really interested.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's so great. All right, are there any other questions? It can be about anything, honestly. It could be about Japan Bowl, also about our Benkyokai or any of the WATJ stuff that we talked about as well.
I know it was on that one slide, but when's your next one? And what's the topic of the next one?
Ooh, I actually really like the topic of the next one. Kei Sensei is going to it. It is on, so we just had our March 4th, so April 1st, led by our very own Kim Sensei here. Oh, did you want to talk about it, Kim Sensei?
Well, when we formed this up, we thought about in the spring how our minds always turn towards, this is where we pick up, what do we want to have next year? This is what I want to be sure to do next year. So just in terms of that mindset, and the topic is transitioning back to in person, and begin to brainstorm about some things that you think you want to keep. Any problems you think you might anticipate? What's the beginning going to be like with having people in person for the first time after such a long absence? So really just to begin to water the soil, not even plant seeds, but water the soil in terms of thinking about next year.
So are you virtual for the rest of the year?
We are.
Oh.
And you're in person, Carla Sensei?
We've been in person since August, and then Anchorage School District, the other school districts are after spring break, they'll be starting up. They started elementary schools. Our district has been face-to-face for the whole year, but
I should clarify, a lot of schools, the younger grades are back
Right.
in. Special ed has been in all year. But
Okay.
so I look forward to seeing you guys there. It's going to be fun.
And then our next workshop too, because the workshop's a little different from the Benkyokai, that we're gonna try to have a panel discussion with several teachers. So that might also be something that you might be interested in. And then of course, if you want to come to a year-end reflection, that's on June 3rd. So we have 3 more that you can still join us for in terms of WATJ events. So we hope to see you there. All right, any other questions? Takashi Sensei.
Hi. So, and is this presentation slides available, right?
Yeah, they should be
I
on
guess
the program.
Okay. Yeah, because we at ATJO, by the way, and Noriko Diverse Sensei and Karen Cartin Sensei are also the board member of ATJO. And I'm doing the president of ATJO. And as you all know, we are doing the, well, Benkyokai, we call it Sawakai, more casual style. We used to have the Benkyokai and then we changed the format a little bit. And in the same way as Washington, we shifted to the Zoom, at least right now. And then, but I really liked that schedule on the Google Sheet. It's nice to see the previous one and the ones coming up. So we might borrow that idea, steal that idea and do the Google Sheet one. And then, so we are, well, yeah, also inviting everybody from other states. And our Sawakai is coming up in 2 weeks. So you are welcome. I'll send the link. And yeah, and Kara Sensei from Alaska, you are welcome too. Yeah, and yeah, we do the icebreaker in the beginning of the Sawakai, and every time one participant, the teacher sensei, is assigned and do the quiz for about where they're from, like Okuni Jiman, or if someone from different country and they share, well, they do the trivia about their hometown. And then, so that's, we use that for icebreaker, and it's been fun doing that as one idea. Yeah, but, and then Akimu Sensei, I will steal your idea about the topic. So what's the transition from online to face-to-face for our next Sawakai topic. Yeah, thank you for all the ideas. Very useful. Yay.
Can I ask one idea that has nothing to do with Japanese, but we're doing a road trip day after school's out, and we're flying to Oregon, and we're bringing all our camping gear, and we're gonna do a like 18-day camping trip. And so we're gonna go down the Oregon coast and then into northern California to the Redwoods and then up to Crater Lake. So Oregon coast or anywhere in Oregon where anyone has any osusume ga arimasu ka? Like koko de yappari itta hoga ii?
No, Oregon coast is very beautiful and long, so it's very nice to drive by the coast, and lots of different cute small towns all the way. And I like the aquarium in Newport. Yeah, and Tillamook has Tillamook cheese, the factory. I don't know. Well, it should be open by now, but their cheese and ice cream. So yeah, delicious. Susan says, any other recommendation?
Will you start with Astoria, Carla?
Will we start
with Astoria?
Yes.
Astoria. So Fort Stevens, you're staying in campgrounds?
We're staying in a campground, and then like the Redwood campground, and I'm trying to think of the town at the very bottom. Oh, what's the one that has the big sand dunes in the
You. Here, let me put the link in the chat really quick. There we go. We have a survey. So Japanese teachers, if you are interested in the national board, please take this survey. So we're collecting the names of Japanese teachers who are interested. So there's a potential push for opening the path towards the national board certification for all language teachers. Right now, it's only available for, I believe, Spanish and French, right? Spanish and French, not other languages. So that is a little inequitable, but there is a potential push for that. So we are collecting names. So this is just for Japanese teachers for this form. So if you are a language teacher for a different language who's watching this recording, this form is only for Japanese teachers, but definitely look into maybe having the national boards for your language as well. So yeah.
Is this only for K through 12 teachers? I'm not sure what the, sorry, it's my own ignorance, but I'm not sure what the board refers to.
Yes, K through 12.
Okay.
But I think Ki-sensei knows more about this.
National board certification is like one of the highest honors available for public school K through 12 teachers. And so unfortunately it doesn't include college or university professors. But if you have other Japanese teacher colleagues who are K through 12 teachers, please definitely share this link. WATJ is just collecting some information so that we can help push for this, and then also support our members and then Japanese teachers in our neighboring states, because it's a super rigorous portfolio process. So we want to help out all the Japanese teachers take advantage of this opportunity.
Thank you.
Hi, arigatou, Ki-sensei. All right. So with that, thank you so much for coming. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Make sure you take breaks. I know it's tiring to watch a lot of workshops, but I hope that you were able to take some things away, but definitely stay connected with us. There's all our info again. So yes, thank you for coming. And with that, I would like to end our workshop. Arigatou gozaimashita. Otsukaresama desu.